Hey everyone, Sky here to discuss Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time, starring Elias Koteas, Paige Turco, and Stuart Wilson, and directed by Stuart Gillard. Now, I do remember this movie being maybe better than the second one, but was that the case now? Let's get into it. In Japan, 1603, it's all read as some hunters go after a thief and catches him and takes him to prison. Meanwhile, back in New York City, Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Donatello start dancing and showing off their ninja skills, which does feel typical of these turtles when we first see them on screen, and the turtles looking rather like robots. As April O'Neil, returned by Paige Turco, buys the turtles rather bad stuff for them, but they play with them anyways and buy Splinter a Japanese antique, which will take them back in time, which feels like rather cheap, and this whole plot is something that the turtles should never go through. The movie's bad guy, Walker, feels like a spoiled prince who doesn't seem like he's in the right movie. Then the thief, another Japanese another Japanese antique, which will lead him to New York City in time traveling ways. In April, goes back to Japan in 1603 while the thief is in New York City, which is such an inconvenience for me, just like watching this movie. April is interrogated by the Japanese master, and Walker tries to scare her, but April shows no fear. And I'm not having fun at all with these characters anymore, including Casey Jones, returned by Elias Koteas, who's barely in this movie, and Wit, who's the bad guy assistant, also played by Elias Koteas, but she doesn't know until later in the film that he's a bad guy. Maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. The turtles arrive in Japan 1603 during a battle, and they split up from Michelangelo to Kinshi, Kinshi was the thief, is recognized by the honor guards, and Splinter doesn't believe there are enemies. Raphael, Leonardo, and Donatello are disguised while they are already split up from Michelangelo as the soldiers that got transferred to New York. And I'm having a headache trying to follow this plot, as it doesn't make any sense, and I can't go with the choreography this time, as it felt very scripted. The turtles get April and Wit out of the cages and get out of there to lead them to the mud, and I am disgusted. Like, I'm gonna throw up. I think I did feel that at the time. Meanwhile, Michelangelo awakens the village while the others go look for him until more fake choreography comes in, and the warrioress, I don't know her name, I think I might have it later, recognizes Raphael like it's Michelangelo and takes them back to the village, but Walker destroys the village, and the other turtles come to the rescue and save the village, as well as a child named Yoshi is stuck in a fire, and Michelangelo gets him out, and Leonardo helps him get back to life. And all of the village scenes are pretty pretentious, as it goes on a little too long, and it goes back and same goes back and forth with Casey and Splinter trying to keep Kenshi and his other men entertained while waiting for the turtles to get back, and that was a snooze fest as well. Same goes with Walker and soldiers prepare for battle against the turtles, which feels horrible. Yoshi has the time traveler that can get him back to New York and gives it to Raphael, and the other turtles want to go back home while Raphael wants to fight one last time. Mitsuo, the warrioress, gets captured, finally I do have her name, by Walker thanks to Wit, and Walker tortures Mitsuo, and April wants to talk with Walker, and the turtles sneak around to get Mitsuo out of the cage, and we get more bad choreography as they fight a way to find April. And this movie is turning even more pathetic than I remember. Why is this movie still going? Please, God, make it stop. Make it end. Walker gets April hostage, and Wit sends more guns and decides to betray Walker, and Leonardo torments Walker as he prepares a cannon and misses it, and he runs, which was what a cowardly thing to do as he tries to escape, and the turtles go after him, and Walker pulls out and throws the time traveler, and Michelangelo catches it, and Walker gets away until Wit cuts the rope and makes him drown dead. Michelangelo wants to stay in Japan, and Kenshin, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Oh yeah, that guy sets off the time traveler as they go back to their own worlds. And as a climax, it's lazy and I don't care anymore. And I'm just gonna say it now. Time to reboot. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 1.7 out of 10. This movie is dreadful. I had a headache watching it, and I don't like the plot or the characters. It's a snooze fest for people my age or older, and it goes on a little too long, like I said. And I think it's time to reboot this thing to an animated release film in theaters, which I will be talking about next week. And until next time, go Ninja, go Ninja, go Ninja, go!